The Seattle Seahawks are eliminated from playoff contention. And before I express my thoughts on the Seahawks missing the playoffs, just give me about 25 seconds after a word from our sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. And to all those that have been using that SeatGeek promo code RoofTopSports, I just wanted to say thank you very much for using that. Hopefully you got your $20 of saving worthwhile. And also, if you plan to go to that Seahawks game next week against the Rams in SoFi Stadium, use that promo code. And tickets might be cheaper since the games are going to mean nothing since the Seahawks are out of the playoffs and the Rams have the division, which, painfully saying, congratulations, Rams, especially off of that horrible start you guys had. Who would have thought that you guys would be resilient and make that huge comeback? So, yep, it's painful to say it, but congratulations. Now, anyways, the Seahawks, they got eliminated. Why did this happen? It was because of not only the Rams beating the Cardinals, thanks to that Kyler Murray touchdown. I'm sorry, not the Kyler Murray touchdown. I wish it was a touchdown. We're talking a Kyler Murray interception, which started to thin the Seahawks' chances. And also, looking at throughout the entire day of the NFL season, there was a lot of things that needed to happen for the Seahawks to even force a final week. First, they needed the Rams to lose, which didn't happen. Then the Broncos lost to the Bengals, the Bungles. Then the Jets lost to the Bills. At least Miami beat Cleveland, which you would have expected. Green Bay nearly completed a comeback against the Vikings, I guess, but no. And then the last string of hope was the Atlanta Falcons beating the Washington Commanders, which almost kind of happened, but then the Commanders just stormed it throughout overtime, and it seemed that Michael Penix, he was going to bring his UW magic to help keep the Seahawks in the playoff contention, which he did by tying the game. And then Penix didn't even get a chance. He didn't even get a chance to complete that mission. So because the Commanders won, they are out. And had the Commanders lost, then it would have been up to the Lions, who are also fighting for a top seed, to win the game, to get that top seed, and help the Seahawks force a Week 18 against those Rams. And actually, by the way, I'm actually planning to go to that Rams-Seahawks game, as I will be in Anaheim to spend time with family throughout the weekend. So I thought, why not? Why not go to a fun Seahawks game where Sam Howell might get his butt kicked. And why am I saying Sam Howell instead of Geno Smith? I'll explain later. And as for that last game, that Chicago Bears game was just absolutely just abysmal. Like, it was terrible to watch. They won 6-3, where they were possibly forcing a Week 17. And it was painful because only 6 points were scored off of Jason Myers' field goals. Geno Smith wasn't doing much. The running game was doing okay. Defense did its job. I mean, kind of easy when Caleb Williams isn't playing well. And because of that, they were technically still in contention, but because of all other factors, Seahawks are eliminated. And I know that there are fans out there that were absolutely complaining, like, oh, Kyler Murray, why'd you do this? Oh, Falcons, why didn't you win? Oh, Packers, why didn't you make that comeback after you kicked our butts? Here's my thing. As much as it sucks that the other teams won, or the other teams lost to help the Seahawks as if they couldn't, here's my thing, and here's a message. Seahawks should have took care of business earlier. They should have beat the Giants at home. They should have at least beat the Vikings at home. They should have beat the Rams in overtime at home. So those are 3 games already that the Seahawks wasted, which could have put them in better position to make the playoffs, considering the Seahawks had a 3-0 start. Now, the problem I had with that 3-0 start for the Seahawks, which I wasn't fully convinced of the 3-0 start, I still had my concerns on the team as parts of the team's not getting any younger, like Geno Smith is not getting younger. Tyler Lockett is certainly not getting younger. But look at the strength of schedule they had. They played against a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. Now, granted, he's having a great rookie season for the Broncos, but that was his first game. The second game, they're playing a Patriots team that had Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback, so not exactly good there. And the Miami Dolphins, they were absolutely just banged up. And then once you started playing real NFL teams like at least the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers at home at the time when they were actually playing pretty well, should have won at least the 49ers and the Giants game because they had their opportunities. Now, the Buffalo game, I can't really put too much on that because it's actually a really good team. The Los Angeles Rams should have won that game. Really, absolutely should have won that game. And at least they had like a 4-game winning streak to put them at 8-5. Now, the Packers game, I couldn't put too much into it. Really good team. Ran into them at the worst possible time when they were on fire. And then that Vikings game, you should have beat the Vikings. I mean, yeah, they're a good team, but you had opportunities. So what I'm saying is, Seahawks did control their own destiny. They had opportunities. They had the opportunities. And I know I'm kind of going all around the place, but I was concerned about that 3-0 start because they didn't really play a real NFL team. Then once they started playing the Lions, the Giants, and the Bills, and Rams, they started to get a little bit exposed, which is why I want to get into what was the bad of 2024. So the bad of 2024, I would say the quarterback play of Geno Smith. Like, yeah, he plays with a horrible offensive line, which is another bad part of the team that absolutely needs to be improved. But he also threw pretty boneheaded interceptions, and there were some game-winning drive opportunities that he legitimately have. So going into next season, like, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, obviously, you got to improve that offensive line. And obviously, maybe you got to do something about Geno Smith. Like, are they going to go with Sam Howell in the future? Are they going to give Geno Smith one more season as he does have one more year left in his contract? So there is a lot of pressing questions. And let me double check and see when he is going to be a free agent for Geno Smith and how long of his contract it is. So yeah, 2025 is going to be the final year of his contract. So there is a question on what are the Seahawks going to do with Geno Smith? Are they going to keep him from 1 year? Are they going to experiment Sam Howell? Are they going to look for someone in the quarterback? Are they going to look for someone in free agency? I don't know. And when I looked at that quarterback class of the draft, I was not exactly impressed at all. So I don't know. So bad parts was definitely the defense, and I'm sorry, the offensive line and quarterback play, and not to mention the running game was also pretty weak because all you had was Zach Charbonnet kind of had some flashes of potential, as if he showed it last year a little bit. But Kenneth Walker was injured, and he did not look the same as he did in his 2022 NFL rookie season. So I don't know if he's going to be the answer for running back in the future. So a lot of things to take care of. The quarterback, offensive line, and the running back. Now, as if I'm getting too negative going into about the 2024 season, let's talk about the good. So the goods was defense improved a little bit. They went from like the bottom 10 to like maybe like the middle of the pack. So I guess you can give him that with the exception of Tariq Woolen. I did not like what Tariq Woolen did against the Vikings where he gave up a huge, basically reverse punt touchdown to Justin Jefferson where he really should have had that. He was just not paying attention at all. But aside from that, defense kind of did improve a little bit. They did do a better job stopping the run game. But that's pretty much the only positive I can think of. Oh, not to mention Jackson Smith and Jigba. He had quite a breakout season, became a 1,000-yard receiver. Was a huge part of my fantasy football team, by the way. So those are the positives for that. So now we go into the final game. What's it going to be? Now, before we go into this final game, here's a word from our sponsor, SoFi Bank, because the Seahawks will be playing at SoFi Bank. SoFi is an online bank and a personal financing company offering financial diverse products. They hold the naming rights to the home of the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, named SoFi Stadium. They offer amazing checking and savings accounts where you can get up to 4.6% on savings accounts. There are no monthly fees to maintain the accounts, and they have over 55,000 no-fee ATMs around the United States. You even have access to a budgeting program, stock trading, and insurance programs. Join SoFi and get $25 for joining and or $25 for opening a stock trading account. Links are available in the description, and thank you. And lastly, I am not a financial advisor, so either find a professional financial advisor or go with your own gut. So yes, take advantage of that. Take advantage of all those opportunities. Now going into the final game, what must the Seahawks do and what I think they should do? I think you should let Sam Howell play. Just get him a chance to see what he can do, because I would like to see what he can do for a full NFL start, because he didn't really get much of a chance against the Green Bay Packers, and he looked atrocious. But let's see what he is made of, and if he's great, maybe just keep him in as a backup again for Geno Smith or whoever. Or if he sucks, then at least you know, and you can just move on from him. So that's what I would like to see is quarterback change just for the last day. Give Geno Smith some rest as if he went through some hell. And yeah, I gave him a lot of crap too, and I still do. But yeah, let Sam Howell play. So let's see what he can do. That's one of the only things I ask. I don't really care if the Seahawks win or lose. Just let Sam Howell play. And also, just wanted to update for that last game as well. Since I'm actually going to be in Anaheim for the weekend because I am spending time with the family, because family first. Also, which most of that time is being hung out on Saturday, but for that Sunday where I pretty much have the day to myself, definitely going to go to considering at least, go to the Rams-Seahawks game. Just trying to figure out the logistics to see if I can go, so I'll keep you guys updated whether I go to the game or not, but would definitely love an experience to watch not only an away Seahawks game, but also an experience at SoFi Stadium, because it is one gorgeous looking stadium. Like, it is like into the future. Now, going into off-season, what must be done for the off-season for the Seahawks? So things that we're looking at, the Seahawks are projected to have a negative $5 million in cap space. So unless the Seahawks make a ton of key critical moves where they'll have to make possibly difficult decisions, they're going to have to make tough moves to see which they can trade or who can they cut. Most likely, who are they going to cut? What are they going to do with Geno Smith's contract? He's going to be projected to be making, actually his base is actually going to be $14 million, so he's actually not making, he actually has a very team-friendly contract, more friendly than I actually thought. So it's not like Seahawks are really going to lose much into that cap space for playing Geno Smith, so not sure, but they're going to have to do something because they need to get the offensive line going. They have to really fix that because Geno Smith did not have enough time to pass, got sacked a lot. But even with a good offensive line, I don't know if Geno Smith would be the guy. Then see what the questions are. Will the Seahawks move on for a new quarterback, or will they give Geno Smith one more shot? Will they give it to Sam Howell? Remains to be seen, but I do think Geno Smith's going to get one more run at it, because when I looked at the quarterback class, I wasn't really impressed by it. Their best quarterback is, I believe it's Deion Sanders' son, so not exactly sure if the Seahawks are going to be going into that kind of draft class. And I mean, they're not going to get the number one pick anyway, but when I looked at in the middles, there wasn't really much to look at unless they can pull a Russell Wilson, which is a pretty rare chance of that happening. And for the draft, definitely try to see if they can get more rebuilt on that offensive line, because it is absolutely needed. So those are just my concerns for the offseason. A lot of questions to be answered, but we don't know yet, at least until, I guess, the end of the season, especially if Sam Howell, if he gets that start, and if he can show that if he could be the quarterback of the future, or will the Seahawks just move on from him and they'll have to reevaluate who they can get as the next quarterback of the future, as unfortunately, I hate to say it, I just don't think Geno Smith is the guy for the future. He's going to be at 36 years old, so you got to do something about that because he's not getting any younger. His body started getting suffering some injuries, especially that Packers game. Well, that's going to do it. I just want to say thank you very much for following me throughout the entire football season of the Seahawks season, and also following me on my live streams on other NFL teams and the Seahawks. And hopefully the Seahawks next year will rebuild a little bit better, reload into 2025. Just want to say thank you very much, and go Hawks.